What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Bear Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. The Bears are making moves. Ryan Poles is cooking. Kevin Byard signs a 2-year contract with the Chicago Bears to play safety. I'm very happy with this signing. A veteran, a guy with toughness, with intelligence, and has the stat line and the resume to prove it. Before we get started, as you can see, I'm very excited. Make sure you become a patron today, www.thetapeneverlies.com, so you can check out some of these breakdowns. I'm telling you, right after this is going to be another banger for you guys. Ryan Bates breakdown live, Big Steve Edwards, Shane the smartest man, and of course, DDP Draft Dr. Phil. Going to be a great one. Should be, everybody wants to know what's going on with the Chicago Bears at all times. Ryan Bates just signing with us, and I'm sure we're going to be breaking down Kevin Byard once we get some tape on him as well. But it should be a great show as always. But yeah, Chicago Bears making moves. Kevin Byard signs with the Bears, 2-year deal. A guy, like I said before at the beginning of the show, a consistent tackler. He brings toughness to the back of the secondary. He brings veteran leadership, which the Chicago Bears were looking for, in order to place with a very young secondary that they have, a very young yet talented secondary that we have. And I feel like Kevin Byard fits perfectly in the mix. It's a 2-year deal, and I know people are like, well, let's see what he has left in the tank. What is he in his 9th year, I believe? Yeah, a 9-year pro. This will be his 9th year. He's played 8 years with the Tennessee Titans. Well, we'll call it 7.5 years with the Titans, and he played another half year with the Eagles, about 10 games with the Eagles, so maybe a little bit more than half. But nonetheless, the guy has been on the football field. Let me go ahead and bring up a stat line for you guys from Pro Football Reference. Here we go. So you can see what I see right here. You can see Kevin Byard's stats. He's played a lot of games, but he's started a lot of games, right? For about, let's see here, almost his entire career. He started, every single game except for the 2016 year, his rookie year, where he started 7 of 16 games. But as you can see, Kevin Byard is an active safety. 130 games played, 121 games started, 28 interceptions, 333 yards off those interceptions, 1 touchdown. He also has 3 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries. He has a touchdown with 36 yards from one of those recoveries. He also has 749 combined tackles, 514 solo tackles, 235 assisted tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 19 QB hits. So, he also was a 2-time two-time All-Pro first team and a 2-time Pro Bowler as well. So we're getting a guy that is very active and is very good. So, obviously we're looking at stats. You want to see him on film, but I can assure you that when you go ahead and you watch this guy's film, you can see exactly this. Very active, very, like I said, aggressive, but not negligent in his play. But this guy, Kevin Byard, and there's a reason why the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to go after him to help out their secondary. It didn't work out, but, I'm glad he's going to be a Chicago Bear. Let me go ahead and jump into this chat real quick and say what's up to you guys. What's up, Joseph? How are you? You got Anthony Bear down. Let's go, Jeremiah. Everybody seems to be pumped here in the chat. Sean, how are you doing? Travis, nice to see you as well. Jeremiah, I hope I livened your things up at work. I mean, you know how work could be boring. I get it. Work is boring all the time for me as well. But hey, I hope I brightened up your day a little bit. Cuthbert, what's up? Hit the like button, people. Absolutely, I appreciate it. Yeah. So 2 years, 15 million, like Sean said. It's I really think that he is a stopgap in a sense, but you're trying to get the last best years out of the tank of Kevin Byard, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't expect the Bears to be aggressive in trying to get a safety at the top of the draft. If they end up trading back and getting a second round pick or even in the third round, maybe they might flirt with a guy like later on in the draft. And I mean like fifth, sixth round, like past where you would think a top safety might be. But nonetheless, I'm really excited about Kevin Byard. I don't feel like you've lost anything. I really feel like you've gained a whole hell of a lot. Some things that you were missing with Eddie Jackson post injury, some might say post contract. But I feel like Kevin Byard stepping in those shoes, filling those shoes of Eddie Jackson. Will he be a leader? Well, I would expect him to be in that locker room, well, especially in that secondary room. Is he going to come in and maybe fill Eddie Jackson's shoes as a leader right away? Well, you got to get to know the guy, right? Players got to get to know other players. Let's see how the relationships grow with these young Bears players. But I fully expect it to work out for the Bears. I have no real reserve when it comes to Kevin Byard, a guy that's been consistently on the football field. Like you can see the amount of games that he's played, 131 games played, 121 games started. So not a lot of downtime for him at all. As you can see, Eddie Jackson, if I could bring up Eddie Jackson's, here we are, Eddie Jackson's stats, and not to bust Eddie Jackson's balls, but he's missed some games, not a lot more, not a lot of games, but he's missed some significant time. He's had a big injury. You've seen the aggressiveness in Eddie Jackson, pretty much disappear after. Well, like I said, some might point out to the contract, but I feel like there was other issues happening with Eddie as well. But you can see Eddie's stats were not living up to the contract in the first few years, as you can see right here that he had. So I would fully expect Kevin Byard to, make a huge impression on defense right away, especially when it comes to the aggressiveness and not shying away from making tackles in the open field, going ahead and sticking your nose in there when you have to stuff a run. So, looking at what Eddie Jackson has done, we talked about the Olays, we talked about the lack of aggressiveness, the lack of turnovers. You can see Eddie Jackson, 15 interceptions to Kevin Byard's, let's go back, Kevin Byard's 28 in his career. So, Eddie's played a little bit fewer years, but Kevin Byard has been a lot more active, if you ask me. Doug, how you doing? Appreciate you in the chat. Let me go get back to some of these chats if I could. Mitch, was it Mr. Bearsky? Stop butchering his last name. It's pronounced Byard. Okay, we'll go with what you say, Mitch. Byard. Just don't turn off the TV, all right? Tackling plus money plus takeaway. Yep, I can see. Yeah, that's pretty much what the consensus is when it came to Eddie Jackson. Lack of tackling, wasn't gaining the turnovers that he had when he first got into the league, and obviously after the contract, the questions started looming, and you could see that he was more of a shell of himself in his third, fourth year than he was in his second or first and second year. He missed about 2 games in his first 2 years, or excuse me, his first 4 years. And then after that, you could see that the more and more on the injury list, the interceptions started disappearing. Only 5 interceptions after he had a total of 10 in his first 3 years. Only had 5 in the next 4. Now, he did have 4 in 2022, which is fine, but it just wasn't enough at a certain point. And again, him having that injury history, obviously with the shoulder when he was coming out, and then he had the foot? I forgot the exact term it was, but he had the foot injury that happened in New York, or in New Jersey, excuse me, on that horrific field that they have there. But I could see them wanting to move on. Like I said, I could also see them maybe this year trying to, trying to groom another young safety. But if not, if that's not the case and they think that they have somebody on the roster that can fill that role, then you have Kevin Byard as a guy that, you know, can obviously fill in the gap that's going to be there between this time and the time you find a guy that can be there for, a long period of time. If you ever find that guy, I think Kevin Byard is the perfect fit for Chicago. I can't wait to see him in pads. How much was guaranteed? Could they cut him if he's a bust? I don't think he's going to be a bust, Tom. I really don't. Let's go ahead and take a look. It says 2 years, $15 million. A source confirmed. So 15 mil, maybe he's looking at 9 mil guaranteed. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. I don't know. Like I said before, I'm not a contract guru, but that's kind of where I would assume he would get guaranteed money on a 2-year, $15 million contract. Kevin Byard is going to be good. Yeah, I fully expect that to be true. Vernon, what's up? How you doing? Chris Roy, I expect the center in free agency. I'd be pissed if they sign Saquon or a running back to address the O-line. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to any running back signings. Not going to lie. I'm just not about that life right now. Signing a running back, I feel like, is unnecessary. You have 2 running backs in your stable as of right now. You have a bunch of young running backs in this draft that can help out. A lot of guys that we like here on this network. Hopefully that's the Bears mentality. Just for the simple fact that I feel like you don't like paying a veteran is a gamble. It's a real gamble, especially, regardless of the name, regardless of, of what they did last year. I just feel like you're running the risk with worn tires. You know what I'm saying? You're running the risk of them one year, one play or one game not having it anymore. It just I feel a little bit of tension when it comes to talking about it too, just for the simple fact that if the Bears go ahead and offer one of these big name guys money that I think or you think, that's kind of a little much, and they don't live up to that, and we have a guy that's just eating money, it's going to frustrate the hell out of us. It's going to be, another black eye for, Ryan Poles, which he doesn't have many, he doesn't have many wrinkles, but it would be a black eye to him. And I just don't see the necessity to go ahead and sign a guy with worn treads. Yeah, you could talk about veteran leadership. You could talk about experience, but I think that you're gonna find talent that can help you out right away in the draft, and you have guys on your team that you still need. Like Khalil Herbert is a good runner between the tackles, not a great pass blocker, right? We could admit that. Roschon Johnson, I still want to see what Roschon has. I think Roschon can be a very powerful runner. I think he can make an impact on this team. He just needs more touches. And then you could go, you could find a guy like a Trey Benson. Hopefully, I'm an Audric Estime guy. I would like to see Audric Estime blowing up defensive linemen as he barrels into the end zone or barrels for a first down and on second and third or third and 4, going ahead and just rocking linebackers to their core and picking up first downs. That would be my guy. But like I was saying, there's guys out there in this draft that can make an impact on this team right now. I'm talking about the Chicago Bears, and I don't think they have to go ahead and run the risk of getting a dud in free agency. Just my opinion. If it's not yours, so be it. But I get, everybody sees the names: Henry, Barkley, Jacobs. Okay, that's fine. Saquon still has that injury history. Josh Jacobs, played well in recent years, but he still had some questions with his play. Derrick Henry is probably the only one that you really don't question, but maybe the Titans have seen the slowdown. Maybe they've seen the regression that we haven't seen. You know how he's a workout warrior. That's not saying that that's part of it, but the amount of shots that he takes, the punishment that he delivers to other players. He's delivering punishment, but there's a give and take when you're delivering a hit to somebody. It's a give and take. It's not just a one way street when you're running guys over. So it wears on you. So for me, I would stay away from the big name running backs in free agency. Go find a guy. There's big running backs in this draft. There's fast running back. You have a good mix of running backs that you could go ahead and sign for less and address other areas of need on this football team. Jeremy, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm telling you, we'll see what Roshan has. We'll see what Roshan has, but he still needs to get the touches. He still needs to put in the work. We talked about him being a guy that's first on the scene, working out, last to leave. That type of guy, a real hard worker, a real what's the word I'm looking for? A real leader, I guess, a role model for younger guys or for guys that are coming into this organization to really take on, like, hey, be that guy, always be working, be the first guy out there, try to work and get better all the time. I feel like that's Roshan Johnson. So hopefully he gets his touches. Muck, I'd be good with Josh Jacobs or Antonio Gibson. I don't, like I said, I like them both. Josh Jacobs, a good running back. Like I said, he has his, issues. Antonio Gibson as well. I think he's a good guy. I don't want a guy with tread. You have guys, Khalil Herbert, he has a little more tread on the tires. Roshan Johnson is fresh in my opinion. 1 year, didn't really get the touches that I would wanted to see from him. But then you could go ahead and add, like I said, you could add another younger guy who has not a lot of wear in the NFL. Obviously, college is still football, but get a younger guy in here that can really fill in or really complement both running backs. You have a power in Roshan Johnson. You have a little bit more finesse in Khalil Herbert. Try to find a mixture of the two to complement them. And I feel like this running back room would be set. But yeah, again, guys, I'm very happy. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. It's a quick show today. I want to get ready to go ahead and watch the Ryan Bates breakdown with Big Steve Edwards, DDP, and the smartest man, Shane Marsall. It's going to be coming up here at 5. Oh, it should be on now, actually. I think it's at at 5 Eastern. So it should be on right now. Go ahead and jump over there, guys. I'm Ivan Vargas. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, Bears get better. Bears get better. That's all I ask for. Let Ryan Poles cook. Bears signed Kevin Byard to a 2-year deal. Let's get going, guys. Let's get going. Free agency has just started. Anyway, guys, I'm Ivan Vargas.